Hi everybody, welcome to the Library Mouse. My name is Gina. If you are new here, I am a retired school teacher who enjoys talking about books and reading and many other things, but mostly books and reading. So today I'm going to do a tag for Tag Tuesday. I was tagged by Kelly over at Books I'm Not Reading, and it is the Booktuber Name Tag 2026. And this was created by Erin over at Erin Read a Book. Check both of their channels out below. Let's just get started. So the prompts are based on Booktuber channel names. So the first one is Violette's Book Daze, a book that left you in a daze, or a book that takes place over only a few days. So I have to admit that most of my books are packed up in boxes right now because I have been attempting to make a room downstairs into a home library, but I hit a construction snag. So most of the books I will just be putting a picture of up here because they're packed away in a box. So a book that left me in a daze was Piranesi by Susanna Clarke. Totally outside of my comfort zone, my interest zone. My husband, he passed away in May, but he had a lot of little sayings, and we used to joke about books or TV shows not being in our interest sphere. And Piranesi was not in my interest sphere. My son recommended that I read it because he was blown away by it. And that book did leave me in a daze, in a positive and negative way. At first, I was in a daze because I could not figure out what was happening. Fantasy is not my genre, and I was really trying to turn it into more realism and figure out what was happening. But then I was in a daze with how much that I actually enjoyed the book at the end and how I was able to piece all the parts together. So, Piranesi by Susanna Clarke left me in a daze. The second one is Sailing Through Books, a book with a boat or sailing in it. So, 28 Summers by one of my favorite beachy authors, Ellen Hildebrand. This book, 28 Days, is loosely based on the premise of Same Time Next Year. It's about a woman named Mallory and this man named Jake who meet once a year to have their little fling. But added to that is the fact that this summer, Mallory has found out that she is dying, she's sick, and she gives this phone number to her son so that he can let Jake know what's going on. And it was a very touching book. I love the way Ellen Hildebrand writes. All of her books, at least the ones that I have read, and I've read a lot, take place on Nantucket. I've always wanted to go there, but yeah, this was a very good book. The Reading Hour, a short, fast read you could finish in one sitting. Another book by one of my favorite authors. It is Joy School by Elizabeth Berg. This book has, I looked it up, 208 pages. It's a very sweet coming-of-age story. It's about a girl who's moved to a new place. Her mom has died. Her father is sometimes abusive, and she is lonely. And she's rescued from falling through the ice by this older man, and she gets a crush on him. She falls in love with him, and he's married. He does not return the feeling, but it's about her coming to deal with the first love feelings, and it's just such a sweet, sweet coming of age story. If you have never read the Joy School, it was published in '98, so check it out. Another prompt is Books Do Things to Me. A book that hit you hard emotionally, any emotion. One of my favorite books from last year was A Man Called Ove, and it did hit me emotionally. It hit me emotionally because he lost his wife, and I could feel what he was going through. I could connect with him as a character, and I loved his growth throughout the story. So it was really a mix of like very sweet, tender, happy, but at the same time like irritation at this man, and it made me feel all the feels. So that would be my book for my choice for a book that hit me emotionally. A Genteel Black Hole, a book that pulled you into a subject or your favorite Terry Pratchett book. I don't think I've read a Terry Pratchett book, so I should probably put that on my list. But a book that really pulled me into a subject is a nonfiction book. It's called The Small and the Mighty by Sharon McMahon. I highly, highly recommend this book to everybody. She takes the small, the people that you don't notice. They're not in the news. They're historical figures, mostly women, who made such huge contributions to our life, to education, to society in general here, that we don't even talk about. We don't even know their names. And it is amazing just to read about all of these like unsung heroes. So I definitely recommend Small and the Mighty. And plus, Sharon McMahon is a history teacher, and her writing is so succinct and easy to read and clever. I just can't say enough about this book. RiffRaff's Let's start that over. RiffRaff's Reading Renaissance, a book with a character from the lower social classes or a book set during the Renaissance. Well, let me put this down. I do have a book that's told from the point of view who someone society does feel and treat as if, you know, she is from the lower class of society. I feel like she felt that she was in a lower class, and it is Night Crawling by Layla Motley. And I have not read this book in a really long time, and it was a book that I had DNF'd, and I picked it up, and once I started reading it again, I really liked it. I felt for this character, this young girl who has a absent mother. She has she lives with a brother that is not there. So basically it's about Kiara and her brother Marcus. They are very, very poor. They're scraping by. They have dropped out of high school. I think it was their father, their father who's in prison. The brother wants to be a rap star, and Kiara is left with trying to work to pay their rent. And then she also takes care of the 9-year-old boy next door, who's basically been abandoned by his mother. And then there was a drunken misunderstanding with a stranger, and she begins to try to make money by night crawling, and you can figure out what that means. But then her name surfaces in an investigation that exposes her as a key witness in a massive scandal with the Oakland Police Department. This book can be extremely difficult to read at times, just because of the things that are happening to this young girl. But it's so good. She's such a strong, resilient character. I definitely recommend this book. Night Crawling, Layla Motley. Okay, let's see what the next topic is. Okay, another prompt is from Sterling Reads, and it is a book with silver on the cover or a shiny cover. I really did not have any books with a shiny cover. The closest to a shiny cover I could find on my bookshelf is Bloomsbury Girls by Natalie Jenner. And I don't know if you can see the font, like the words of the title and author are a little shiny. I haven't read this book. I started it, DNF'd it, but I still want to because I feel like it's going to be a good book if I can just get my mind in the right place to read it. But I did find a shiny children's book. My daughter was never a reader. She had a learning disability in English language arts. Reading was hard for her. Vocabulary was extremely difficult for her. However, she discovered Dork Diaries and loved these graphic novels. So look how shiny this book is. So she has quite a few, and I found them when I was cleaning. So I'm going to be passing them on to my other grandchildren, or I may save them for her if she ever has children. But this is a series by Rachel Renee Russell. This one is Tales from a Not So Glam TV Star. So, I mean, it's a novel, but it's not really, I wouldn't call it a graphic novel. At least not this one. But anyway, here's the shiny cover. Let's move on to the next prompt. Okay, the next topic, or the next prompt is Big Hard Books and Classics. Your favorite hardback you own or your favorite classic. Bonus points for a hardback classic. Well, the hardback that I had of my very favorite classic was just used up, torn up, read to shreds, and I do not have a hardcover copy of my favorite classic. You know what? I need to get a hardcover copy. My favorite classic is Little Women by Louisa May Alcott. I've read it as an adult. It did not hit as hard with me as an adult, but it's still my very, very favorite classic because just the way it makes me still feel. I read it when I was about 9 years old. I got it for my birthday, and I read that book over and over and over and over again. I watched every version of the book that came out as a movie, and it was the first book that I really, really felt connection with the characters, and I just knew the story forward and backward. And while I do not have a copy of the hardcover, my son and daughter-in-law, because they know I'm making a library downstairs, got me this beautiful planter. It is Little Women in the colors that I'm going to make my library. And you can see the side, and in the back it says, "Books are always good company if you have the right sort," by Louisa May Alcott. And it's a planter. I'll probably just put a fake plant in here because of my cats. But isn't it just lovely? I just love it so much. So while I don't have a hardcover, I do have a planter of Little Women. The next one is The Book Thing, a book with the blank, blank, blank title. So I recently finished The Bean Trees by Barbara Kingsolver. It was her debut novel. I think it was written in 1988. Excellent, excellent book about a young girl who leaves home to make her way in the world, travels out west, and winds up with a family she did not plan on having. I really enjoyed the book. Highly recommend. Bonus prompt, a book that matches your own channel name or a channel you love. Well, actually there is a series of children's books about a little mouse who writes stories, and it is The Library Mouse. And when I was thinking of the title for my channel, I did not think of that series. I had been thinking of names that people call people who like to read. And another one that I really loved, but I didn't feel like it fit my channel, was Ink Drinker. That was another like old saying that they called people who like to read. And so I thought the Library Mouse fit my personality, and that is why I got that channel name. But yes, and then afterward, whenever I would type in the Library Mouse, here were these series of books for children. So that is the Booktuber Name Tag 2026. Thanks, Kelly, for tagging me. Actually, this was a really fun Booktube tag. I will tag some people below. If you've already done it, disregard, but I would love to hear your answers. So until the next video, happy reading.